Tri-County was built in 1974, first graduating class in 1977. It is a 50-year-old structure that has its challenges. Being a career tech school, the school itself, there's a lot of wear and tear on a building that is a trade-focused building. The structure itself is aging. They've done a great job keeping and maintaining and making it look nice and neat, but the fact of the matter is there are real structural compromise issues that we have at the school. We are now in the process of entering into what's called schematic design. The Tri-County Building Committee had the opportunity to examine 3 different types of projects that we would consider for the community. From the 3 concepts, the top one would be if we were to do nothing. If we were to not have any MSBA involvement at all, if we were to just go through the Tri-County building and do the renovation ourselves, we'd be looking at, over 10 years, $165 million in cost. The thing with the building is that because it's the age that it is, there are no sprinklers in the building, the plumbing is not to code, the electrical is not to code. Certainly when it was built in 1974, it was to code then, but over the last 50 years, code has changed. Second option, which I spoke about, was was just the renovation of the project if we were to keep it in its same footprint, and that price came in at close to $280 million. The second type of renovation was the renovation with a bit of an addition in the back, and that would give us more instructional space, and that came in at the highest, which is close to $283 million. And then to build a new structure on the property, it was at, again, $280 million, so roughly the same as it would have been to do just the renovation. And from an economic standpoint, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you want something that's going to last for another 50 years. That yellow line that you see is the property line that goes around the property. The right side of that property, where this part here, that's the current solar field that we have on the property, and the option that we're looking at for the new building, if you flip to the next slide, would be to build the building actually where that solar field is. Solar fields would be then incorporated in carports and on the roof of the new building. Tri-County is a vocational school with 16 career programs. Some of those programs are what we call high bay programs, and that first diagram shows you the programs like carpentry, automotive, plumbing, those bigger shops that we need to get vehicles inside. They would be on the first floor of the building. Shops that require a lower bay, like the medical programs or dental, legal and protective and so forth, they would be on the second floor, with that same concept of having the academic classrooms across from them. The third floor, on one side of this building, it would have 3 floors, the additional classroom space.
We are not talking about an override or a debt exclusion to fund this project.
Council President, so if you're asking me today, could we absorb, and your estimate was about $3.1 million as an assessment to us, right? And this goes back to a different topic that I would have with the MSBA and their construction cost reimbursement, right? But I do believe with the new growth that we see and that we have forecasted to come in, plus what we have seen in some other budget initiatives that we're taking on even this year, that the town could afford to pay for this within the general fund.